Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Phrancko Sweater Knitters. You can go to Phrancko.com and generate your own custom fit pattern and join us anytime you like. At as long as it's 2:30 Pacific time on Saturday. Anytime, yes. Hello, Joellen.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Ron.
Hello.
Hi, Judith.
Hello.
And hello, Nancy. It's nice to have you.
Hi, nice to be able to join you guys once in a while.
Yes. And hello, Rana. I know you don't have your microphone today, so you wrote, "Hi, Frank," very appropriately in chat. So Nancy and I are going to do a presentation for her guild on Tuesday.
I'm
And
super excited about that.
I'm a little nervous about it, but I guess I'm excited about it too.
Well, I think it's neat. What happened was I belong to the Knitting Guild in Cleveland, Ohio, and for the last year and a half, I've been raving about Phrancko sweaters and always bringing something that I'm working on because it's since I discovered that pattern, it's like it's the only sweater pattern that I use. And so the program person got a hold of me at the beginning of the year and said, you know, you've been talking about this sweater so much. We were thinking about doing a program on different things that you can find on a website like Stitch Mastery, you know, the places where you can do graphing and all those different kind of tools. And so they wanted to find out what it was like to use a custom pattern that you would get online as opposed to, you know, doing it the hard way, as I call it. And so I'm just real excited. And what's super cool is I had written into the group just to Frank and just said, hey, my group asked me to do this. Is that okay with you? And he said, not only is it okay, I'd be glad to sit in and talk a little bit about it. I'm like, you would? And I'm like, so excited about that. And when I told them at the guild, they were like, oh, absolutely. So, so I'm just really excited that you know, Frank gets a chance to speak to our group. You know, my guild in Northeastern Ohio covers pretty much most of Northern Ohio. And of course, we are a cold weather climate. So lots of sweaters going on. So I'm hoping that people will be as excited as I am about it, but I'm just really excited. And I thank you in advance, Frank, for being willing to step up for 20 minutes or so to just chat with us. And
Well,
of course,
I'm really happy to do that. And I'm glad your guild was open to it. I love presenting the Phrancko sweater and talking about it, and I wish I had more opportunities to do that. So if there are other guilds out there who see this, just write me an email at frank@phrancko.com and make sure you spell Phrancko correctly. And I'm happy to participate however I can to tell people about the Phrancko sweater.
We don't even have a knitting guild in Quebec. How sad is that?
Oh,
you can start one, Judith.
Really? I don't see myself as the right person to start some. I mean, I don't even know what it implies or what it.
I'm just teasing, but you would be a fabulous person to do it. So.
Yeah, well, you know, because before any group becomes a guild, it's just a group of friends that got together and discovered that how much they really enjoyed. So if you have another friend that enjoys knitting, you just start getting together regularly. And if you can do it in a public place so other people see you and they go, what are you doing? Can you show me? You know, it just starts as a group of friends, and it may just stay a group of friends, but there's always the possibility of it getting bigger too.
Well, that's where I'll have to start, because for now my friends are here right now
Exactly.
in the States. My friend, my only friend who knits, is so busy working that we almost never have time to get along and knit together.
At least you got one. I don't have anybody around here that knits that I know of.
Yeah.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Joellen.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. I didn't see you come in.
Hi, Frank. Yeah, well, today here, there was folks that had posted that they were doing knit in public today, public
Yeah.
day. And of
Oh,
course, it's been raining, and people had set aside that they were going to go to the park here, but they still went. They brought one of those little pop-up tents, you know, the 10 by 10 things that you see at the
gosh.
fair. And they
Oh,
did that.
well,
And we're
maybe
sitting
after the
in
meeting,
little
I'll go out
chairs
to the park.
knitting. Yep, knit in public day.
Could you send some rain my way? Because it's like super dry by us.
Yeah.
We've had to
It's
deal
been-
with all the
It's
smoke.
been raining here the last few days. It's really strange, and just been kind of cool and whatever. But I have tomatoes on the tomato plant, so I'm not going to complain. Nothing's ripe, of course, but I have some, which is very surprising for me for June.
Frank,
Yes.
I'm knitting socks today. Sock.
Oh, yay! Good.
Oh. Okay. And that's a cue to spotlight you so we can see your sock.
Yay.
Oh, yay! Good.
Oh,
That's lovely.
It's a Regia self-striping yarn. So there was some pink parts on it, which I decided to remove because I wasn't sure that the way the yarn is dyed, that the heel would be the pink heel and toes would be at the right place, and cuffs, and it's supposed to be knit cuff down, and I wanted to do it toe up. So I decided to remove the pink, make a ball of all the gray yarn, and see what comes out of it.
so you just cut out the pink yarn?
Yeah, I'll use it for another sock.
I see.
Hi, Ron.
How are you?
I'm good. Oh, and Tim's in the back there. I see him too. Hi, Tim.
I think he's around here somewhere.
Yes, I see. Now your head is in the way, Ron.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. The new theater is open. My show is running. I slept for a week. I'm finally not covered in sawdust. So I'm back at it.
So you think you guys are going to really like the new space?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's so much nicer than the venue we were working at before, which was just getting cramped. We were outgrowing it, so we doubled in square footage, and it came together nicely. It's just like 6 of us breaking our backs to build an entire venue. Like, once the contractors left, and we were just like, wait, the rest of this is us?
Finished work is just always the hardest, and it takes the longest.
Yeah. So luckily, you know, if you've been doing this sort of thing for a long time, you get conversant with power tools And you do a lot of framing and then tearing down and reframing when you put up 12 shows a year or whatever.
Yeah. It's amazing how much you can do, how fast with power tools. Because
Yeah.
when I was a little kid, I mean, it's like a screwdriver, you just had to turn it with your hand, and you know, and a
Right.
saw, you had to just saw it. And it was like, it took forever to
Yeah.
build something.
No way.
And now Jerry, when he does stuff, he sees, oh, let me just get the drill. Let me get the,
Yeah.
the power, and just and sawed, and it's done. So yes, power tools are very helpful.
Certainly. And then occasionally we get people like to half-heartedly offer to help and then say, but I don't know how to use like any power tools or anything. You don't come out of the womb knowing. Show up, we'll show you.
That's
Which
right.
is exactly the answer they intended. Just like, I'll happily teach you to do something. Certainly you can hold this up for me.
Well, I was looking at some pictures from when we built the greenhouse 5 years ago, and we put up a little pony wall and everything first to make it taller. And I wrote in the thing of the picture, and I was so proud that I put in all the rivets, from doing it with the rivet gun. It's like, yes, I did this with a power tool.
Right. No,
And I'd never used one before, but I learned.
In December, we took possession of a basically empty warehouse with some office buildings in it, or office like spaces in it. And now
Yeah.
it's a functioning venue.
How nice.
But I did miss knitting. I just didn't even have time to think about it.
You did or didn't?
I did. I wasn't able
Me.
to work
Ah.
on anything for a couple
Yeah.
weeks, and it was making me a crazy person.
Is that a new sweater? I don't think I've seen that red one.
This one, this old thing.
Yeah, that you've got on.
This is the sweater that I was working on before. Let me get to the end of the row of what I'm working on now, and then I'll do a model for you.
Okay.
Who else has something they'd like to show us?
Well, I'm also working on socks. I
All
was
right.
inspired by Sumner's Intarsia in the Round, Argyle in the Round. And I hadn't done one in a couple years, but decided
Oh,
Oh, wow, that's
Wow.
great.
That's
so this is
beautiful.
sock number 1.
I like the colors.
Wow.
I do
Wow.
too. I love them. So the brown is Cascade Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And all the other colors I bought at the Twisted Skein at Ron's shop. They're here's the tag. It's a color braid that I bought. Oh, it's backward. Can't read it.
No, it's not backward.
Oh, we can read
It's just
it.
backward for you.
No,
Oh.
it will look backwards to you, but it doesn't look
But you
backwards
can
to
see
us.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can read it. It says the Twisted Skein color braid,
Yeah.
merino, and nylon. Yeah.
And it was 6 different colors, little mini skeins, of 6 different colors. And so I did 1 color for each diamond, and then the 6th color is the yellow, the lines.
Oh, very cool.
That's really
And
clever.
I love them. I love the way they look.
That's
I
a
want to
really-
make another pair. They're
That's a
fantastic.
great use of mini skeins. I
Yeah.
love it. You see,
Lovely combination of your colors are just really
Great.
nice.
Well,
Love
and I
it.
didn't have to do any work I just grabbed the color braid and those were the colors. I didn't have to think about it,
pre-curated.
Yeah, pre-curated.
Rana says she's very impressed with your socks.
Oh, good. So I'm
Hi,
working on
Rana.
those. I also finished my first Phrancko.
Oh,
T-shirt, T-shirt,
Yeah, the t-shirt. You can see it here.
very nice.
Yeah.
It's black,
Yep.
so you can't see any details, I know, but but it is done and it's blocked and it's soft and I love it. I did a 6-stitch I-cord for the bottom, like the hem and the collar and the arms.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
hold
it
up,
looks-
hold up the collar, and maybe we can see it even if it's black. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can.
A little
Oh,
bit.
that's nice.
Wow.
That's very
Yeah.
nice. That
It's
looks
a-
really
so
neat.
I
it's
like
a
the
6-stitch
result.
I-cord, and it looks like a hem, but it's so
Yeah.
much easier to do and so much less finishing work. I hate doing finishing work. I mean, I'd rather be knitting, you know.
And the fit, is it to your expectation?
Yeah, it's really good. I haven't I mean, I blocked it once, but I haven't worn it and washed it yet. And I want to do that a couple times to see how the yarn wears. Because I think I'd make another one if it's still up to snuff after a couple washings.
What yarn did you use again?
Shine, it's Knit Picks.
Okay.
It's a cotton blend with a wood fiber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've stopped knitting. Not for good. But the
But
so
just
this,
so you can show us.
yeah, this is my distressed pride sweater that I was working on. So if the holes in my sweater,
Oh, yeah.
I apologize in advance. Oh, Rana wants to know what size needle you worked that up on, Will.
The t-shirt was a size 6 and the socks are on a size 1.
So an average of a 3.5.
Yeah.
But is that like a 3.5, or is that a 3.5 size? Of course, a
No, no,
3.5 is a size 4 needle. So
It was a US 6. I'd have to look up what the millimeter was.
So I'm kind of out of frame. All right, my favorite part of this sweater, I'll do the down, is the star neck.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
That.
wow.
That's my favorite bit. Because when I wear it with my ubiquitous V-neck, it makes this little black star.
It does. That's very cute.
Never.
And it's funny, like I decided to make it a distressed sweater
Yeah.
like after doing like I wanted this neckline. I wanted this star neck treatment. That was what I wanted. And then I just got feisty and decided to do distressing as well. I've got a rolled or turned hem here with the Russian graft fold under, which makes a sort of attractive little.
So did you do like a pearl row where you wanted to turn it? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's,
Okay.
there's
So
a
you
pearl
like
row at the
knit and then do the pearl row and then
knit
knit
that many,
more
and then I use a
graft it.
crochet hook to work a Russian graft from the live stitches, and then one row right here. So it gives it sort of a stoned look. I guess I can stand up in this and you can get the whole effect.
Even with all the distress things.
Now with extra hole.
Yeah. With the distressing, did you have to do anything to secure it in place so that it was planned?
Yes. All of the holes and runs are secured. So they will not continue to travel. And that is done in a variety of ways. And then
So funny.
That's fun.
so
It looks great.
thank you. And so
Even being distressed, the fit is so nice.
It's really nice.
oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
The
a
fit
Phrancko.
is,
But it's like, I mean, yeah, look at the shoulders, look at the arm,
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
thigh, you know, and all that. It
All
fits the shoulders and everything perfect.
that was sort of the fun part. All of the structure of the sweater, everything that makes the sweater hold together and fit properly, is all you know, done as nicely as I could make it. And then it just got big holes and stuff all over the place.
Mm.
So that was my pride project.
I
And
love
which
the color.
Huh?
I said, I
Oh.
love the color, and somebody else said, which yarn?
which yarn is it?
It is Malabrigo Rios.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's incredibly cuddly. And I wanted the fact that it's a superwash wool sort of led me to doing these things with the ladders, because they will stay open and hang and look the way I wanted them to look. But really, I'm the most pleased with this neck treatment. I love
It's a very interesting, and it's not something I've seen at all before
I
as a
just
neckline.
I love it. And with if I don't have an undershirt on, then it's like a plunging neckline. You can see my my chest tattoos. And they're like right in the cutouts as well. Like very funny. But I decided for the sake of modesty today I would wear that. But with the V-neck on, it creates, you know, that star.
We appreciate your modesty. Thank you, Ron.
I don't, even though it's Pride Month, I didn't want things to get too spicy. Phrancko After Dark.
You should read Rana's comment.
Oh yeah.
This fun sweater, Ron. Hope you don't catch a thread in the holes. Then it would be really distressed.
Shouldn't snag. If it does snag, it'll just there's extra yarn in here where it'll just tighten up. So here's hoping. And then I decided for something different that I would cast on another sweater, just as a treat.
And it's purple. I like that. I really
Something
like that.
more traditional. This is going to be a like a cricket jumper shape.
Oh, pretty.
So it's the V-neck pattern, but I've made the neck very, very wide. If you can see here, that shoulder is just like 2
really
inches.
narrow.
I took 1 3/4 inches, almost 1 7/8 inches off of what the pattern called for. And then in that way that cricket jumpers or tennis jumpers have a very thick, very wide collar. So it will be the normal size hole for the head and neck.
Yeah, yeah.
But like 3 inches of it will be, or 2.5 inches of it will be stripes and ribbing.
Cool.
Oh,
So, and then to accommodate that, I've done the thing where I didn't do shaping in the shoulders. It was just a flat panel of stockinette in the back shoulders with the tight crocheted cast on, because there's you know, 2 inches on each side. I didn't think was enough structure to hold the whole garment
Right.
up.
You want it to hold up.
So the entire back cast on is a very firm crocheted cast on, so it should sit on the shoulders quite nicely. So I started this yesterday. We'll see how it goes now that I'm back at the shop on a daily basis and I can do things again. So
nice.
finish sewn off, blocked, and immediately cast on something more normal.
Thanks, Ron. That's great. Nancy, I think you brought something to show us, didn't you?
I did. I last time I was here, I was working on a very fine gauge sweater, which I still am working on, and I'm on the second sleeve. So, but I took a break in the middle because I had seen a oh, what was it? I got like a newsletter from Stitches for something, and they were showing like pictures of what this guy was wearing, and I saw the sweater and I went, I think I can do that. And So I happen to have, what is it? I happen to have Noro with me. And of course I'm working on, I'm the cardigan person. You know, there we are, but look what I'm playing with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And what I did, what the sweater that he had was, it looked like Noro because it was a long gradient, but it was using another gradient in the middle. So I did it as intarsia. And the centerpiece here, I wrapped at the top of the shoulder and brought around to the other side. Look.
Beautiful.
Oh, look at
Look
that.
So it
that.
just grows. Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh, nice.
amazing.
And it's so easy. Now you have to be prepared to know you're going to have a lot of little ends to tuck in. So Will, you're probably not going to want to do this. But what is so cool is I took the two colors of Noro that had very similar colors in it, except one had more of an orange in it. And what I did was I weighed them first, and they were the 200 grams that they were supposed to be. So what I did was I took the two colors that the two skeins that I had that was going to be the stripe, and I put them on the ball winder, wound off a ball on the other side, did not cut it, and weighed it so that I had two 100 balls. And then I did a slip knot in the middle, and that was where I started my cast on. Yep, see? And so then what I did was, then when I had to pick it up on the other side, if I needed to clip it, that same color was still there, so I could pick it up on the other side. And then I would just use those two balls working down either side. So that gave me the opportunity to be able to take the color right over the shoulder and continue it all the way to the other side.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like excited.
Right.
And of course I do cardigans, I'm knitting front and back. So I'm doing knit a row, purl a row. So for me, it was absolutely no problem at all to do the intarsia connection between it, because then I just had separate balls
so nice
for like the sleeve. And what I did was at the sleeve, at the shoulder, instead of taking the stripe all the way to the edge, I did about 6 stitches that were going to be part of the sleeve also. So that's how it pulls in. Can you kind of see that?
The color. I see how you did the colors with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like so excited. It looks so cool. And you know, the sweater that they did was more matchy. So like if I had flipped the color on it, it could have like been doing the same gradient all the way down. I thought, I don't want to do that. I just want to see if this works. So I mean, this is going to be a great bop around Saturday sweater, you know. And I blocked it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to pick up the side with a 2x2 rib like I have at the cuff and at the bottom. And you can see I carried that same
the color all the way down.
All the way down.
That's great.
Yeah. And then I have some really old buttons that are going to glow with this sweater. And what I think I'm going to do is knit the bands up, and then I'm going to extend the neckline out over it and make it more of a fold over neck.
Oh.
Yeah. So it'll kind of cross in the middle, and then it'll fold over. Instead of being a regular bound neck, it'll be like a little fold over instead. So it'll just something different, you know, because the Noro is so thick. I don't want to do a thick band fold over. It'll make like a giant hot dog going around your neck. You know, this big tube
That's
thing.
not a good look for any of us, right?
No. So I'm just thinking that that's what I'll do. I'll have to play with it a little bit, but I wanted to get it at least initially blocked so I wasn't dealing with, you know, the roll. and could really get a better look at it laying it down. So I'm just thrilled that with these buttons, the buttons
Those are gonna
really
look great with it.
low on
Mhm.
here. Yeah. So I'm just like super excited to see that I could actually do that. So now you guys have the secret, and now there's another way to obscure that shoulder a little bit. And like I said, the main thing is that there are a lot of ends you have to tuck in. But with Noro, I think I did a very good job of actually hiding them within the colors that they were in, so that
Mhm.
you can't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
see them.
No, don't see it at all.
So it'll be
That's great.
ready for some competition somewhere, because at least, you know, I'm matching them. So if you don't mind tucking in a lot of colors, ends, it's just so cool. So anyway, the end. I'm so excited.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right, since the Phrancko sweater there are no versions that are cardigans. Different people have created cardigans in different ways. So what approach did you take this time?
Oh, you know, I do exactly the same thing each time. Now, if I were doing color work, and I do have in the back of my head mulling around working with a Selbu pattern, in something like that, where I've got color work and I'm working with Jameson's, I would do a steek. It just makes it super easy, and the wool is made for something like that. But for something, most of the time, what I just do is I take because I like the crew neck. Crew neck is a better look for me. You could probably do it with the V-neck also, but I take the crew neck pattern, and what I do is I just know that if I'm supposed to be casting on, say, 30 stitches, you know, when you're picking up the front there, I'm going to split it, and I'm going to pick up 15 here and 15 here, or I might do 20 here and 20 here. It just allows for a little bit of give in the chest area.
Mhm.
And then I just know that I'm going to have, you know, a 1 or a 2-inch band going all the way down. And then what I just do is I knit not in the round, but I will knit backwards and forwards, and I will just adjust the shaping, you know, that I will, instead of constantly making one knit, make one knit, make one knit, sometimes I'll make one purl, or I will reduce one purl, and I will just, you know, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for me, when it's one yarn, for me, in my head, steeking creates a lot of problems, because now you have the potential of it being too stiff right here, because you're having to introduce other things. So why not just go around, knit, and then come back purl? I saw your really clever use of intarsia, which I want to play with, Frank. But you don't have to play around with what side is your yarn on if you're going back and front and you're doing it on a cardigan.
That's right.
So, you know, so that's really what I do. I know some people have taken the Henley pattern and done that, but see, to my mind, all I'm doing is I'm taking that flat piece and I'm separating it. Instead of making the entire cast on for the front neck, I'm just splitting half of it, and then when I go back around the other way, I add the other on, and I just go from there.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, when I work on that Selbu, though, I will show you my steeking, because I've done lots of steeking. I'm not afraid. It doesn't scare me. But I would probably do that for that when it's that, because it's such a traditional construction method, I think.
Yeah.
What do other people do? What have you done? Has anyone else done cardigans out there? I'd love to get tips.
Not yet. It's on my list.
Who has done a cardigan? Someone here has done cardigan.
Ron did a cardigan.
Yeah, I've done both, taking an existing neckline and making it, and just not joining it, casting on. I've done that with both the V-neck for a shawl collar type that I made, and a crew neck. And then I've made a color work one that in the crew neck pattern that I steeked.
When you did the shawl pattern, did you notch in at the top of the neck to allow for that extra fabric for the shawl?
It,
You know what I mean?
um,
Instead of having it coming straight, there's like a notch in place where then you can pick up and it becomes part of the fold over.
the shawl collar went down into the button band. It was an integrated shawl collar.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it started with a stripe of garter stitch fabric and then picked up the back neck and then knit it integrated. So it just went right into the button band. Although there are no buttons on it, it's an open front cardigan.
nice. Did you put a picture of it on Ravelry, right? I can go back. Can I find it?
Probably.
Great.
I need to update my Phrancko section. I think I've got one or two that I haven't put up yet. But yeah, so that's what I did with that one. And just like an integrated collar into a button band that added
And Ron, do you want to tell us your Ravelry name?
oh yeah, my Ravelry name is Warlock Warren.
Okay. I'm gonna look up your stuff. I
Yeah.
see it when you post it on Ravelry. And of course, now knowing that you've been busy doing major construction explains why I have not seen any fabulous pictures up there from you recently.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see if you've got that one, because I'm curious and I would love to be able to see it.
I can show if it's not up there, sometime in the coming weeks, I'll try and update my database with my many myriad Phrancko projects that I've got. I made a slideshow not long ago that had everything in it that I had made up until that point using the Phrancko pattern, which is at a certain point gets a little ridiculous, but I like it.
Well, and see, that's
I'm enthusiastic.
That's what I love about it. You do such great design stuff, and it's a wonderful, I get so inspired by it, and seeing your use of color play and all that stuff. It's wonderful. And as a designer, I really appreciate the Phrancko pattern, because as I try to tell people, it's a block and it allows you to build on it.
I think that's one of the most important things for me about the Frank, and something I use as a selling point to very creative types who come in, because the architecture is done for you when you generate the pattern, as long as you don't start mucking up with those numbers in a way that you don't anticipate. Anything else, you can do whatever you'd like and the fit will still be perfect. It will still be a structurally sound sweater. It will hang on your body the way you anticipate, and you can do anything else to it that you like. And I think that's really empowering and cool. And it sort of, I appreciate the ability to get an idea, and if I have nothing else on the needles or something I'm willing to put in away on the needles, I can just get started.
Yeah.
I can plug in some numbers and buy a pattern and get going. I like to knit somewhat extemporaneously. I'm lucky if I start with a sketch sometimes, but I love that about Phrancko.com, that you can't make the sweater as written, or you can go completely off the rails. Sometimes I don't even have rails. I just have a little hand cart that doesn't do anything.
Ron, I think you're usually off the rails.
Yeah. Maybe all the time I haven't been a train. Off-road vehicle. Also, I was going to say, I noticed 3 or 4 needles sticking out of your sleeve, so high five DPNs, fam. I love my DPNs.
I learned, my mom taught me to use DPNs when I was in 4th grade. And it was before they created all the new kind of circulars, but I just love the control of it. It just takes practice, and I don't have any trouble. Some people get the little laddering happening between the thing. It's like, no, you snug it a little bit more and it all works out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I love my DPNs. Everyone's hands are different, so there's a tool for everyone out there. But
you're absolutely
I see
right.
other people using DPNs because I love my DPN.
My only challenge is that these days, at least here in the States, I have not been able to find long DPNs.
Yeah.
I know you can, there's a person in Scotland that does knitting belts and it's like, I think Addie does make long double points,
Yeah.
but they aren't here in this country.
A lot of distributors don't even carry anything bigger than an 8-inch.
Yeah. Yeah.
mean-
And for my upper arms, it's like, no, you might as well sell me 7 needles to go along with that.
Yeah. So, and like even the ability to get like 14-inch straight needles is kind of disappearing because they're falling out of fashion so much. But
You're right.
TPNs, like manufacturers market them to us in 6s and 8s. Take your pick.
Mhm.
Is there any advantage to using straight needles over like
When
circular
people
needles?
point out that you use them, you can go, well, it's what I learned on, and I don't do this newfangled circular knitting stuff. That's what I found is the biggest
Oh.
advantage.
I see.
No, I think for people, it's just the people I find who come in wanting straight needles are usually people who are older and haven't knit for like 30 years and they want to get back into it in their late retirement or whatever. And that's what they expect to be able to get and buy. And then we're like, yeah, we have them. Here you go.
Dust them off, huh?
But I know, like, when Jody Long did his shop visit, he uses exclusively straight needles. All of his designs are knit flat and seams, and he only uses straight needles to make them. So I think there is also kind of a sense among some traditionalist knitters from over the water that it's like an American thing to do, to knit on circular needles all the time.
There was a Scottish woman that was involved with Shetland Wool Week, and she's famous. I can't remember her name, but she's famous for Fair Isle color work and lace work. And they, most of the people there still use knitting belts. She says it's much faster. You don't have to stop and start as much when you're using straight needles.
Is this the woman that's the fastest knitter in the world?
Oh, maybe.
Because I saw a video of her. I think she's from somewhere in that part of the world. And she used a knitting belt, and she said it was why she was able to knit so fast.
Yes.
Well, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it, but even though I've got these short little needles, I'm going to put this down here so you can see it. My mom taught me how to knit with the long ones and prop. She would usually prop here, but I tend to prop down here. But what it does is, see how right now I've got a free hand, and I mean, I can just keep knitting like this because I'm not having to hold that needle in place. You see how my hand is doing that? And that's what they do when they've got a knitting belt and it's much bigger. But see, there's a lot of control here. So I'll put this down.
Well, thanks for showing us that.
Sure.
Seen
I mean, that's why I love double pointed, especially for sleeves, is I just tuck that right down there and I can keep going.
Well, a week ago, I set a goal to knit 1 inch a day, and I have succeeded in doing that. So I've got 7 more inches of my sweater done.
Nice.
Are you going to show what you're working on?
I am.
Wow,
Wow.
That is just beautiful, Frank.
it is.
Wow.
I can't figure out how to center it there.
We got it.
Beautiful.
And I'm really happy with how far it's gone.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
These elastic markers, no, they're on this side.
On the other side, yeah.
These are marking how many rows I did each day.
Ah,
So,
There you go.
And my goal is to do 7 or 8 rounds a day. And I timed myself, and it takes 25 to 30 minutes to do a round.
Wow.
So that's like 4 hours of knitting every. It's a big goal for me to make 44 hours of knitting a day.
Wow.
On YouTube, there's a lady that her YouTube is called 10 rows a day. And I figured that is her decision, or maybe it's in her family, whatever. But if you just do 10 rows a day, you can get through it all. So
Uh-huh.
I doubt that, I don't know, that complicated of a pattern would take a heck of a lot longer.
I'm trying to make a video, and I just did another version of it right before this meeting started. So I think it might be the one I publish. A video that just shows me working across the front one time and how I bring up the charts, look at the chart each time. When I get lazy and don't look up the chart every time, I invariably find I've made a mistake on the next round.
Wow.
Hopefully it's the next round I notice it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, there are 2 mistakes in this sweater already that were too far back for me to unknit down to and redo. And now I'm just trying, I will have to decide, is it worth going to the effort of doing the repair work, which I think is really tedious and maybe will not be invisible, to reverse the thing, you know, how you snip a stitch and then unravel it and then knit across it and cross them the right way. One of them is, let me. One of them is simply in this very narrow. It's so hard to know which way to go. Okay. This very narrow one actually has one stitch that's crossed the wrong way. I don't think that's worth fixing. But
Yeah.
the other one is on the front, and it's in the middle of this middle thing. And tell me if you see it. Anybody see it?
No.
It's right in front of you. Now let me see if I can point to it.
I see it.
Right there.
Oh,
It's the wrong way.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
is
I
that
think,
something I should fix?
yeah, no, I think we all
No.
need to wear buttons that say, if you can see the mistake on this sweater, you're standing too close.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just leave it at that.
I had friends in quilting, and I remember asking something about on the back of my quilt, and she did say that, but she also said that anybody that would point that out is not your friend. There's that too.
Well, but this is going to be published in a magazine, and there are going to be pictures of it. Not everybody there is going to be my friend, I'm afraid.
Isn't that where you
Oh, I think they
cleverly
would
kind of
be.
put part of the sweater, or you put like a flower there to make the
Yeah. I'll tell Arinda to please put something over that area.
I think you should call it your Easter egg sweater, and that if somebody could find it, you'll give them $1.
Or the Where's Waldo sweater, yes.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's a good idea.
So I have a question. This is not a question of Phrancko, but it's a general knitting question about in mosaic knitting. And I wonder, you know, when you're slipping a row all the time in one color, and you're doing one color and you're slipping a color. See, I'm doing that right now. That's the back. And I just wonder, is there a technique or a way of ensuring that everything all of your slip stitches are an even length. So that when you end up with your mosaic, it turns out perfect. Instead of, or do you fix it when you're blocking? Because sometimes my slip stitches are a little longer than other slip stitches. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Love to hear the answer.
I don't know.
Well, some of you have done mosaic. Do you have the same problem?
I've done it once, but I didn't do anything special. I mean, there were probably minor inconsistencies that I think just came out in blocking.
That's what my last one did. It just came out in blocking, but I just wondered if there was some special technique or something.
Yeah, not
I'm
that
just
I'm
gonna
aware
pay more
of, but
attention.
I've only done mosaic, I think once or twice, maybe.
Yeah, me too. Well, we'll see how this one comes out. I'm gonna pay more attention. I think when I block it, I'm gonna definitely pin the mosaic so that each of the medallions is exactly the same size. I think that's the thing to do.
Sidra would be able to answer, maybe.
She would.
She did so.
She hasn't been here for a while. I wonder if I have her email. I might have her email. I'll write her if I do.
No, she's posted a few times in the Phrancko group on Ravelry, so you may be able to find her there.
She has.
Okay.
What are you doing back there, Tim?
Working on my sweater.
Tim's working on his sweater.
You want to show us your sweater, Tim?
Honestly, there's not much to show. I've just barely gotten to the I'm almost to the neck shaping, so there's not much to look at.
I see.
It went from a started sweater to a big pile of yarn again, and now it has grown back.
None of us has ever done that. I don't know.
I know. I thought it was weird.
I mean, that's never happened to any
What have
here.
you been doing, Tim? This is very strange. And he said, I don't know, I just made it up, and we'll see how it goes.
You see this ball here? This was what I ripped out of mine that I was doing because it was like I wasn't keeping track of how many increase rows I was doing, and I got to the place where I was supposed to split off, and then I had gobs more stitches than I was supposed to have. And then it's like I went back and measured it. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't pay attention. I just kept knitting willy-nilly.
Wait, how do you do that? No, I mean.
I was on a Zoom call with Kathy and I was not paying attention.
Oh, I see.
And then I just kept going, and I was about 5 or 6 hours down the road before I went, this doesn't quite look right. I should have been splitting off by now. And then I measured and I hadn't. So here's where it is now that I finally have split off.
Oh, nice.
Cute.
So I'm getting ready to do the little Harris tweed swatch across the front.
Nice.
That's great.
But yeah, but it was several inches longer.
We sure we believe
I
you.
had to wind it off.
Of a tunic.
So Tim, you're in good company.
Oh, good.
When you held up your ball of yarn, it reminded me that I had yarn to show you. Would you like a special yarn preview of upcoming yarns?
Oh,
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Here's some cool upcoming stuff that my Euro, Brett just dropped off. So there's a couple new Dirty Long things coming. One of which I'm super excited about. It's Andiamo Light in a hand paint.
Oh, pretty.
Ooh.
Oh,
Those are my
Andiamo
colors.
Light is one of our favorite yarns.
Yeah, so I was very excited by this. Same 200 gram put up in a
Wonderful.
sort of
Beautiful. Mhm.
tone on tone hand dyes,
Gorgeous.
hand paints. Boop. So that's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to these. And this is a new yarn coming up called Artisano, and I wish you could feel it. It's a blend of alpaca, silk, and Corriedale.
Ooh.
Mm.
And it's
Oh, that would be so
just
nice.
so nice. And
What's
the
the third element?
Corriedale
What's
wool.
that?
Yeah.
The wool.
Yeah, it's a breed specific wool.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a really
San
nice
Marino,
wool to spin.
Corriedale.
It's a really nice wool to
Yeah.
spin.
And so
It's
yeah,
very, very
it's got little bit tweedy bits in it. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
Oh,
it,
that's nice.
it also has, it's really remarkable. It's got tweedy bits, it's got a shine in it from the silk, and it's also got a halo from the alpaca. And like the way it takes color and the feel of those three fibers mixed together,
Wow.
I'm excited for this one. So and it's also a hand paint. It's just so my
Oh,
my
that's
rep
gonna
was
be
like,
so
"Will you want me to
nice.
send you a couple skeins of those?" So you can-"
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
please.
you're like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
What
this
what
is-
are what are the percentages of the fiber?
I will tell you right now. Okay. And this is a Cumulus label that got turned inside out. Also a beautiful yarn. It is going to, and this is like pre-release, but I assume that this will not change. 52% Corriedale, 35% alpaca, 10% silk, and then the tweed nep is viscose.
Okay. Interesting. I'll be curious. to
It's
see how-
just it's
Curious to see how it works up because it's a very close between the drapey fibers and the Corriedale, which gives it a
Yeah.
little bit of body.
that bouncy in the hand.
Corriedale has a really nice crimp that it is going to
Yeah.
hold its shape nicely. It's really, really nice to
So
spin.
it strikes a good balance between having like the luster of it, the hand of it. And at some point, Tim will knit the swatch probably and tell us how it is. But I think this yarn is going to be a hit. I can't wait to work something up in it. Did you feel it, Tim?
I have. It's really nice. It's so silky.
Yeah. So that's a special preview for you because it got sent to me and I wasn't told to keep it a secret.
Cool.
If you're watching this and it was supposed to be a secret, next time tell me.
Well, maybe by the time they watch it, it won't be a secret.
Right.
Maybe.
I don't think that anyone would be upset with me for trying to get people excited about their yarns because
No, that's cool.
I love them. And we are big Andiamo light fans. And so that hand paint is really nice. But
That's
that
beautiful.
new yarn, so nice.
You know, the yarn I'm using is a Jody Long also. It's Chow.
Oh, also beautiful to work with yarn.
It is.
It feels great. So the texture of the traveling stitches all work
They
out.
show extremely well. Very well. Well, as you saw when I held it up.
Yes, yeah, we saw. And they showed up so well that you were able to hold up the most of a sweater body and Zoom didn't take your background and put it over the sweater.
That's right. Oh, I'm wearing a sweater that I rarely wear, so I thought I would show you that. This is not a published pattern, and it's not a Phrancko sweater. It's before Phrancko existed,
Okay.
and oh,
Oh,
Oh, that's a nice design.
yeah, I like it. This garter stitch section stretches out as you wear it.
Yeah, it would
It
stretch
gets
out.
longer and longer. So I can only wear it for short periods of time. I wore it all day once, and by the end of the day, it was down around the bottom of my butt.
Well, maybe that's the design of it. Maybe that's the thing, that it's a changing.
It was kind of turning into a
Later in
dress.
the day, you want more coverage.
We
Well,
got to see-
anyway, I think that's about all our time today. Anybody want any last words? I guess I got the last word then. See you all next week, I hope. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for coming. Enjoyed it.